I always liken it to escapism in the same way that people who will go to Vegas or people who can go to Vegas will go to Vegas because whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Someone threw that line at me, but about the Boracay, and it kind of comes around full circle. Visiting Boracay is like taking a break, rather, and from anything that may have been holding you back elsewhere, from where you're from anything that could have been bringing out negative emotions in you. People have told me that Boracay has reminded them to be much more appreciative of the small things. It's also helped embrace them. It's catered to them. It's given them so much opportunities to grow through whether it be the activities present, just the availability of the beach. And I think that's what attracts tourists a lot. Just the idea that there's so many things you can do in such a small island that it's very welcoming to each and every one of the people who stop by here.
As the warmer days continue, a new adventure awaits as we bask into the summertime season. There's definitely a perfect place away from the city life and embrace the island vibe. Brace your tropical look because we have booked the best summer getaway for you. This is Hometown Vlogs, and for this episode, we will be touring the all-time and world-famous island of Boracay. Most of us are familiar with the name Boracay because of its pristine waters, white sand beaches, luxurious resorts, and exciting outdoor activities. But did you know that Boracay was not always the premier beach destination it is known for today? It was accidentally discovered by a foreign crew. From that moment, its popularity increased. As years go by, tourists from local and international origins flock to the island rapidly. Because of the increase in tourists, Boracay offers enjoyable activities and immersive events. Aside from that, from May 11 to 13, Boracay overflows with national and local food. The Boracay Food Festival is one of Boracay's events that is highly anticipated as it showcases the Filipinos' delicacies to foreigners. We will not only see it as a paradise for tourists, but we will also learn how the locals maintain the place and ensure that Boracay stays as one of the best beaches not only in the Philippines, but in the world. Get ready as our guest takes us for a tour of this island of beautiful sunsets and shows us what living is like as a local in Boracay.
Hi everyone, my name is Bryce Cabrera. Most people refer to me as Bryce or Bryce Cabrera. I'll let you guys be a judge on what to refer to me as. Recently, I haven't been going out much. I've been stuck in my home due to university stuff, for academic requirements, and for certain org projects or productions. However, it usually takes someone inviting me to go out, or it usually takes my family itching me to visit them or to have sunset with them, which has been a tradition. So most of these recent days, I go out for sunset or for any food-related activity. As someone who's been living here since 2006, I believe that in terms of tourists passing by, it's never necessarily a complete disruption, or it doesn't always affect our lives directly. We've had businesses here in the island that have completely catered to tourists or to people who are stopping by briefly. However, they don't always necessarily affect me directly, especially my routine, my family's routine. And as much as they keep coming, as much as we meet new people every day, we've already just accepted that. We've accepted the inevitability of tourists coming. It's just been a part of our culture here in the island that people come in and out, people end up staying longer than they think, people end up leaving sooner. It's been a part of my routine and doesn't necessarily disrupt the daily flow of things, especially in my family's ways, because sometimes actually half of my plans are going out to meet them, going out to meet new people, meeting up with friends, and coincidentally meeting making connections that will last long, especially right now. So in many ways, they're an advantage because they have very interesting cultures. They have very interesting backstories, cultures, backgrounds. And this comes for people who are foreign and non-foreign alike. It's always nice to know why they're here. It's always nice to know what they like about it, what they don't like about it. And it's always a welcome on my behalf and my family's. For activities that I think are much better enjoyed in Boracay, the first thing that popped into mind is the fact that you have a free gym. And there's no need to pay membership, it's right there. And if you're wondering if you're still curious what I'm saying, I mean the beach. The beach is one of many places in the island where you can just have a workout. There's very little judgment. There are activities that you can do in it. Like when I wake up early in the morning, I see triathletes training, I see lifeguards training, I see people doing their early morning jogs. And I think that's just a perfect example of how much people utilize the beach in terms of physical activity. But another thing that I think makes Boracay really stand out in that regard is that it's much easier to commute. It feels a lot less draining, especially when you're walking or when you've lived there for years. It's a lot more, you get used to walking, you get used to biking to places, you get used to knowing that, oh, malapit lang yan. People are always confused when I have friends visit from Manila. They're always like, hey, I'm in station 3, where are you from? Like, oh, I'm station 1, it's just a walk away, I can do it. And they're always baffled, like, But it's completely normal for me to walk from one place to another, to cycle, to ride a bike from one place to another very normally. I think that's just one of the benefits. Riding a bike, that's been my mode of transportation ever since the tricycle fare up and ever since my family, especially specifically my father, has taken a bigger interest in bicycles. There's also a very prominent bicycle community around here which helps welcome bike enthusiasts or people who are new to it as well. Electric bikes, mountain bikes, triathlete bikes, I forgot what those are called, road bikes rather. And ever since I learned to ride a bike or learned to ride it by the main road, I've been doing that ever since. There are about 3 general stations in Boracay, I believe, and I think station 2 has the most traffic. I think that there's a lot of going on there, especially in terms of establishments. It's the place where most establishments are located. It's also the heart of the island, rather the center of it. And that given, of course, tourists are expected to visit there, to pass by there at least once during their stay. And given that little note, many establishments set themselves around there because it's a very highly populated area in terms of people passing by for leisure, people passing by for food, for entertainment. It's got a lot of things that I think many people will enjoy. But in all honesty, all of these stations are special. They have many wonderful pros to them. Wherever station you end up, Angol is a lot more quiet than it may seem. Or the other end, the Dini Beach side of things is also quiet, but at the same time it feels a lot more private, as Dini Beach is a thing where people can stop by and it feels like your own free private beach as well. And sa totoo lang, it's very hard for me to think of any cons for all of them because each place has their own uniqueness. There's their own vibe to it. And again, I could continue this and get down for you all, but I think it's much better if you find out what those vibes are and which one of them works out for you a little bit more. There are many food stalls that have been put up by residents and locals pre-pandemic, on closure. And I think they're very worth your time, very worth supporting, especially those that sell hot dogs, barbecue, pati mga fish chips na dumadaan minsan-minsan. Personally, for me, I'm gonna go with a personal favorite rather. The answer would be Kolay Mangyan. Not only does it serve a variety of foods, Pinoy style, it also feels very untouched by corporate or commercial sensibilities. But when I ask my family when I recall asking my family what they think best represents Boracay in terms of food, and they went to me saying the Chori Burger. I think that's probably a very easy answer. I don't need to elaborate on that, and you guys will find it out on your own. It's food that just feels raw, it's delicious, and it's not raw in the sense na undercooked siya, but raw in the sense that it feels very loved, like authentic rather. Many people put so much heart and soul into cooking this and committing to it every single day. It's a small thing, but I think it deserves a lot more attention. It's also made by people who love and care for the people of the island, for doing business and for the people around. They're people that are they won't make fun of you, rather. Even though you're new to the whole food scene in Boracay, they're very welcoming and they love serving it. And I think that's one thing Boracay has in common, or the people of Boracay have in common, is that they love doing what they're doing. They love doing what they're serving. We may stumble every now and then with trying to find out what establishment, what service we're going to do to the people, but generally speaking, we do love serving the people who pass by, or especially the people who stay. 2 things. First thing would have to be the nightlife, and not just the stereotypical, wow, Boracay nightlife, but I think that there are many stalls, there are many there are many, I keep using the word establishments, but there's some stalls and businesses that shine a lot brighter in the night, kind of literally, but also figuratively. And I feel like that they don't necessarily get the attention they do when it's daytime. So in nightlife, there are a lot of places that are open. There are a lot of places that are more lively when it's night, so you may be able to visit them, meet new people, and just enjoy the basic ambience of what it has in store for you. The second thing would be to be offline. I know it could be tempting, especially for people who want to capture the moment, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with passing by and wanting to make things last longer. But having grown up here and eventually moving back and forth to Manila and studying in Manila for a long period of time, one of the things I missed the most was not staring at my screen when I was outside. When it's here, it's sort of a norm when you're riding the LRT and you're looking at your phone being like, oh, am I going to the right destination, or messaging to people you're gonna meet. But when you're in Boracay, generally speaking, there's a lot more reason to look away from your phone, to completely disconnect. We are nearing the Mangroves, which, if I'm correct, or what I've been told, is open to the public. However, I'm quite unsure why not a lot of people aren't hanging out here much anymore. But let us test it out, and I will show you what you guys are missing. Fortunately, it is low tide here in the back beach, or in the back half, so there's not much water there. There usually typically is. But on our trip, who knows if by the very end we'll be seeing water. It's currently nearing sunset, so this is what it looks like at the orange hour. Now this place is a bit special to me because back in my junior high school days, this is where I would shoot school projects with my friends, because we had friends who lived nearby. The Mangroves was just happened to be convenient enough, not much people. However, if I am correct, people can go here. Oh look, looks like there is a crowd here. That's genuinely refreshing. But that's what I remember this most by this Mangroves. These Mangroves. Yep. Here we are. This is one of many secret hangout places which not a lot of people know. Cyclists may, people nearby may, but I highly recommend you check it out. This is, however, not the only secret place, as I'm about to take you to another Mangroves or to another even more secret place, and it might just be hiding in plain sight for people who are staying nearby. Hey everyone, so we are at Boracay Beach. Yun yung pinakadulo ng island, di ako sure sa may station 1. I knew this place from my childhood because nung bata talaga kami, nag-island hopping kami, whether it be family or family friends or kahit picnic lang. We would have picnics there, like at the very end, dyan pa sa may dulo. Kaso, hindi pa ako sure kung nandyan pa. Based on word of mouth, hindi na nandyan. But the person who told me that, actually, someone who I just met right now, may interesting service sila, and I want to feature them right here in Hometown Vlogs. Mali mo ba? You can stop by. Also, chances are kung nag-island hopping kayo dito din kayo nag-stop, dumadaan din kayo dito. Probably further there. Kaso ang init, we'll see how far I go ngayon. I just biked around and I want to show you what people are talking about or what's hot currently here in Boracay Beach. Let's go. Hi, so ito po yung mga sinasabi kong may interesting na service dito sa may Boracay Beach. Ano po yung pangalan niyo?
Totoy, gata rin po ako.
Totoy?
Pidal po, Pidal.
Si Pidal na lang. Ano po yung mga service niyo dito sa Boracay Beach?
So umaga po sir dito, sir, kahit kami ng mga manig.
Ano man?
Libre na po yun. Bibili lang po kayo ng drinks.
Ay, tuwing umaga ba?
Tagang umaga po. Ito ngayon po, mainit kasi.
Oo nga.
Ako po yung sa
May
Kristalkaya.
Kasi tubig, beach,
Unlimited shot po yan.
Yan.
picture.
So, kinakausap ko sila kanina, tapos sinasabi nila, taga dito po kayo? Like,
Taga dito.
dito po kayo pinanganak sa may Boracay Beach mismo talaga? Grabe yung tagal nyo naman pala dito, no? Like, tapos marami palang mga iba't ibang pinagdadaanan dito kasi may mga picnic houses doon noon. Pero ngayon wala na masyado. Binabawalan na. Okay.
Pinuntahan yan dito, Boracays Beach.
Yung mga Boracays.
Ito ang product
ng Boracay Beach. Ano po yung sa tingin yung gusto ng mga tao dito?
Ang gusto ng tao dito kasi walang hotel na masyado na
Ito po yung Virgin Island.
Virgin Island at saka
Ang laki yung mga forest. Oh.
sa gusto nila doon pahinga saka nag-relax sila dito.
And that is the beauty of Puka Beach. Aside from the people who were born and raised here and so many amazing local establishments, napakamaraming, I don't know, marami ko pa talagang pwedeng i-share ngayon. Pero gusto ko lang talaga kayo there's music. I want you guys to discover it yourself. Chances are, if you went island hopping or... I need to sit down. Chances are, if you went island hopping, you've already stopped by here because this is the very tip of the island. Apparently, it's the front beach side. And I wish I could show you more. However, I do have a couple more stops up my sleeves. So, please check it out. Hey everyone, I am currently in Dini Beach. One of the further beaches. However, it's not too far. If you're staring at Willie's Rock, or if you're staring at the ocean from the beach, at the rightmost, this is in the White Beach, at the rightmost, if you keep going, you end up here. The wonderful Dini Beach. I have plenty of memories here. That used to be where I spent my 15th birthday. That used to be Wahini. God, that was a wonderful day. This is another common place for local picnics, hangouts, because it's pretty casual. Not much people here, as you can tell. I was recently talking to a friend of mine who was thinking of going here, and they said that one of the better parts about Dini is that there aren't much tourists, which you are right. I would say that about opposite sides, but I would say that, yeah, there aren't much people. There's not much traffic here compared to the mall or the second half of the White Beach, the front beach. I don't even consider this as part of the front beach or White Beach. It's its own thing. It's its own spin-off. It's its own anthology beach of its own. And there are plenty of that around Boracay. There's the Shangri-La one. There's the one that I just passed by earlier, which is Iligan and Puka Beach. There are plenty of those, including Bulabog Beach, which I still recommend as probably one of the better places to watch the sunrise, especially if the weather's good. I think it's a real treat. And yeah, I think you guys are going to enjoy that. So you know how a lot of these places have emote places, like places where you just want to go to and just keep quiet, let the wind take your breath away. I don't know, something like that. And this happens to be one of my favorites here in the island. That is Boracay Terraces Resorts. It is at BTR rather. It is located at the very end of White Beach. That is White Beach. That is what you see on Instagram. Enjoy, bask it in, or just, take a quick swipe through your Instagram feed. Anyways, this is one of my favorite emoting places because out of many locations, like I mentioned earlier, Dini has got to be one of the most common places I go to when it comes to family, friend hangouts, more likely friend or high school friends, or when it comes to celebrating achievements in something, we hang out there, have fun, and then just enjoy swimming in a less crowded place, which is exactly what it is right now. Also, fun fact, we used to live there in the Palms. My mom rather used to work there, and my family used to live there. I hope you guys get to check this place out. It is wonderful. My only fear is that there are no rails. So whenever you cross from here to Dini, it may seem extremely scary. I'm gonna show you on the way back. This is Sunday. We're currently hanging out at Station X at Q, which I still recommend to be an ideal hangout place. And let me try to show you why. That aside, if you order from you, or if you are a guest at you, this is the wonderful pool you are going to be treating yourself to. Hashtag not an ad, hashtag not sponsored, although you still can do.
Come on, chef's kiss.
The island talaga has gone through its fair share of struggles and woes, from the multiple bagyo, yung mga bagyo that's happened here, that's hit here, it really affects you. Adding to that, the closure that was imposed around 2018 and the pandemic also. So many local businesses, especially economically, have faltered, that they've been hit really, really hard because no one has been allowed to go in and out unless you're a local during the closure period. Adding to that, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic also made it extremely difficult for residents, locals, or anyone who had a business in Boracay to jump back up. Fortunately though, there are very dedicated local workers at Totoo Lang who wake up. An example would be those who wake up early morning to pick up the trash along the beach. But also, I hope you guys do them a favor. Don't litter when you're here. I'm gonna keep saying that for the rest of this video. And I do know there are many advocacy programs. There are many groups that specialize in doing just that, which is great because there are many voluntary actions on the community side, not just from the local government, not just from school institutions, but from the people who live here as well, who are very passionate and trying to monitor and regulate how things work around and making sure that it's as best as it can be. And it's essentially how we've reacted. Boracay people have bounced back. Boracay nuns, especially significantly, have been able to get back on their feet. Fortunately, we are still facing a lot of issues right now. We're still facing a lot of problems, especially nationwide, generally speaking, in the country, that also kind of affect the way Boracays act. But thanks to the dedication and commitment of people around here, we've moved on. We're continuing to build more bridges, and we're getting there. We're always getting there. We're always growing. Well, they're having a large amount of pub mats or promotions that are made available to people who are curious about the Lumut season. Unfortunately, not everyone talaga is pleased with it. So people who are eyeing talaga to visit Boracay, it usually happens around once a year from the months rather of February to May, if I'm correct. So for that span of a few months, there will be lumut. There will be lumut talaga. And if you really want to avoid that, probably go later in the year or a bit after May. There are dedicated workers, like I mentioned, who put their time into cleaning the beaches and making sure people don't leave anything behind. Regarding my hometown, I can list a couple of noteworthy advocacy programs or organizations such as Red Cross, who has been doing their absolute best to their ability to enact proper social change in Boracay, and I thank them so very much for doing that. There have also been hotlines made available in terms of mental health concerns, which has been very much needed in these situations, especially given the difficulties that we as a community have had to go through. I very much agree with many of the advocacy programs and organizations around here in the island, but at the same time, I hope that the message that they're enacting or they're trying to convey sticks with the people. A lot of what we're fighting for, such as equal rights, less pollution in the island, better management, are all there for a reason. Like, we are bringing those issues up for a reason because they seem to be common happenings. I also think that we should be a bit more motivated to do change ourselves. We can't always rely on other people to do so. So that is why I respect many people who just voluntarily pick up trash off the ground. It's helped my mindset and helped me to grow a lot more practical, a lot more friendly, a lot more understanding, and in the long run, a lot more appreciative. Humble. That is really just the one word that I would use to describe here, like just the island. Because having grown up here, or before I went to Manila, I was completely unaware of my surroundings. I was unaware of what I had until I was gone, until I left, until I ended up studying elsewhere. I do end up ultimately embracing this place as much as I can because I've been able to be a lot more proud of it recently. Generally speaking, when I go to Manila, I don't go around bragging and being like, hey, I'm from Boracay, I did this and I did that and I did all this, because I know them. I know I did those things. It's a personal accomplishment of mine. And a lot of people who were there know that too. And that's sort of just what matters to me. It's made me a lot more grateful for how I operate, for how much I have accomplished, for a great life that I've lived. And it's also because I know I did a lot of the great stuff in life with the people in here, my friends, my family, my community. They know so too. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's been there for my life, for everyone who I grew up with, for people who have been my peers, my acquaintances in the island, in Boracay. You guys are the main reason why I'm here today, why I'm continuously growing, why I'm going strong, why I'm here doing this right now. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys. I just want you to know.
Indeed, Boracay is more than the crystal clear waters and its fine sand. It is both an escape and relaxation for those who go there. The culture and its people welcome all tourists who travel miles away just to witness Boracay's picturesque beauty. This island is an enticing place that brings people together and provides a well-deserved rest for those who need a break from the bustling noise of city life. The tour around the island proved Boracay's special charm because of the lively and diverse people living here. It's truly a perfect summer vacation to meet new people and try what Boracay offers. Boracay is one of the best destinations in our country and a jewel that needs to be protected and preserved. We all like to have fun and hang out at the beach, but we have to remember to be responsible and prevent the destruction of these natural wonders. We have the knowledge and power to change our world for the better. That is why we must always make sure that we do things for the betterment of the environment and the society as a whole. This is Hometown Vlogs. Time to set out onto the next big adventure.